Fast times, loud colors, and even louder opinions.
When Sha'Carri Richardson hits the track, she grabs everyone's attention.
But she's not just racing against the field. She's sprinting through expectations, narratives, and a stopwatch that never seems to stop ticking. One minute she's breaking records. The next minute she's breaking headlines with her non-stop tomfoolery. And today, we're about to dive deep into the hot, stankin' mess that surrounds her. But before we dive deep into other people's business,
don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. For any of this story to make sense, we have to take you back to March 25th, 2000, when Sha'Carri was born in Dallas, Texas.
Following her biological mother's departure during early childhood and her father not being around,
Sha'Carri was raised primarily by her grandparents,
with her aunt Shay stepping into a parental role that would shape the rest of her life. Although her home was loving and structured, the absence of her biological mother left a mark.
Sha'Carri carried deep self-doubt for years, quietly questioning her worth and whether abandonment was something she deserved.
She later opened up about those feelings in an interview, admitting that as a child, she often wondered why her mother didn't want to be present and assumed that meant no one ever would. That unresolved fear became the psychological backdrop of her upbringing until Shay intervened. Instead of trying to soften the pain, Shay confronted it directly,
promising Sha'Carri that she would never leave and redefining what motherhood meant to her.
Shay told her she didn't need to give birth to her to be her parent, and for a child wrestling with abandonment, that distinction mattered.
Sha'Carri has since described those words as life-altering.
In an interview with NBC, she explained that Shay became the stabilizing force who taught her to redirect insecurity into purpose. While Shay provided structure and direction,
Sha'Carri's grandmother became her emotional refuge.
Their bond was built through quiet routines like cooking together and watching television,
which offered Sha'Carri a sense of safety and stability.
While in the third grade, she stumbled upon a plaque filled with medals in her home that belonged to Shay. When she told her grandmother she wanted a medal as well, her grandmother told her that greatness required action.
From there, Shay became her coach and took Sha'Carri to the track. She immediately imposed structure and pushed Sha'Carri's little tail to the limit. When 9-year-old Sha'Carri complained about being tired, Shay would respond, "You want to be great, don't you?"
"Well, don't you? Shoo."
Sha'Carri continued to level up, all while moving through life on her own terms. At just 14 years old, she took to Twitter to publicly share that she was bisexual, making it clear that her family already knew and that she wasn't asking for permission or approval.
She joined the track teams at her middle and high school before enrolling at Louisiana State University in 2018. After 1 year in college, she declared that she was going pro. From there, she became one of the best sprinters of the modern era. Not only that, her vibrant personality and openness have made her a fan favorite. In 2019, she let love into her life when she went public with Jamaican hurdler Janique Brown. At the time, it looked like a promising relationship.
Oh, so what you're saying is, this finna get messy. When you start off, like, at the time, it looked like a promising relationship. It's finna get messy, ain't it? Is that what you're trying to say? That's what you're trying to say.
Sha'Carri occasionally referenced her girlfriend in interviews, including a 2021 conversation with US Today after a major win.
She shared that Janique had helped pick her hair color, explaining that the loud, vibrant choice reflected who she was. But behind the scenes, their relationship was cracking. After 2 years together, she took to Instagram with some serious allegations, accusing Janique of abuse and theft. She said she stayed protective of her partner despite judgment from Janique's family and the entire country of Jamaica.
Not the whole damn country. Lord, that's tough. Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Janique later addressed the allegations in an interview,
where she admitted to at least one documented instance of putting her hands on Sha'Carri. She described the relationship as toxic, filled with fighting and blame, and she said she was going through personal struggles at the time.
I was abusive once, that there's physical evidence of, and we move on. And even after then, I was trying to move on from that, and we still got nowhere.
I don't care what you're going through. You keep your hands to yourself.
In June 2021, Sha'Carri won the women's 100 meters at the U.S. Olympic Track and Field Trials in Eugene, Oregon. Sha'Carri made headlines when she sprinted into the stands to hug her grandmother.
Oh, I remember that. That was just beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Moments later, she revealed something far heavier. Her biological mother had died just a week earlier, and she learned the news from a reporter.
Sha'Carri later said the moment was shocking and triggering, but she still knew she had to show up and perform.
Days after that emotional high, the momentum came to a hard stop. She tested positive for THC. Her results were disqualified, and she was suspended.
From an emotional high to a different type of high.
Because THC had been newly classified as a substance of abuse in 2021,
and because Sha'Carri completed a counseling program, the standard 3-month penalty was reduced to 1 month.
Psychologically, the situation was a collision of grief, pressure, and visibility. During an appearance on NBC's Today Show, she said she was taking responsibility and wasn't looking for excuses. She apologized to her fans, her family, her sponsors, and even the haters, explaining that when she steps on the track, she represents a community, not just herself. She admitted she had been trying to hide her pain and asked not to be judged for being human. Officials called the outcome heartbreaking but clear under the rules, while advocacy groups argued the policy punished coping rather than performance.
Sha'Carri, however, stayed locked in on the long game.
She said the Olympics hadn't seen the last of her, reminded everyone she was only 21, and promised she had plenty of races left in her legs.
In January 2023, Sha'Carri found herself in the headlines again after a heated exchange with a flight attendant on an American Airlines flight ended with her narrow behind tossed off the flight.
I'm not going to start recording because I was making a video to myself. I'm going to not start recording. And this video will show what you're doing. So I would appreciate... Who are you talking to, man?
Lord have mercy.
The incident was brief, but to many, it felt like an early warning sign that turbulence was right around the corner.
It always is, ain't it?
Now, let's fast forward to February 2025.
Sha'Carri went public with her new boyfriend, American sprinter Christian Coleman. 5 months later, all hell broke loose.
Told y'all, here we go. Here we go.
While at a Seattle airport surveillance footage showed Sha'Carri yanking Christian's backpack, shoving him up against a wall, and throwing a pair of headphones at him.
Not her yoking him up. The hell wrong with her?
Christian ultimately declined to participate in the investigation.
But Sha'Carri was still hauled off to the clinker on a 4th-degree domestic violence charge. Later, she took to social media to address what happened.
And so my only thing is I want to be more, not even just for myself, for my family, for my fans, and overly appreciate y'all supporting me and showing up and even holding me accountable to being my best self.
As for Christian, he defended Sha'Carri in an interview, saying he didn't think she should have been arrested and that he hated the negative narratives surrounding them.
Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she has, like, things that she needs to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like, everybody.
And that brings us to January 2026.
Lord, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. What didn't happen, child?
Sha'Carri was pulled over for driving over 100 miles per hour in Orange County, Florida. The cop said Sha'Carri was flashing people to get out of her way and even cut the police officer off.
She dumb as hell, ain't she? I was feeling sorry for the girl, but she's just dumb as hell, ain't she?
She pleaded with the cop and asked if they could work something out, but he wasn't trying to hear all that.
So I was, and I totally didn't know. If you look at my phone, my buttons right here, they jump around. My phone was sitting here and it stayed on here. I literally see it's not even in normal mode, and I see that my apologies. Please, I communicate.
The mode has nothing to do with your gas pedal.
No.
I need your license, your registration, and your insurance.
Not her trying to bribe the police officer after cutting him off in traffic. Child.
Her boyfriend Christian and fellow Team USA sprinter Twanisha Terry showed up at the scene to see what was going on.
Twanisha was free to leave the scene and took Sha'Carri's purse with her.
Christian didn't leave quietly, though. Officers said he wouldn't comply with orders to not involve himself in the traffic stop and that he repeatedly attempted to explain why Sha'Carri was speeding. Christian allegedly refused to provide identification to the police and was locked up for resisting arrest. Police added that Christian allegedly dropped an object in the grass as he returned to his Jeep, and a glass smoking device was found in the center console of his car. They also found 20 grams of marijuana, according to court records.
Ninja, you supposed to get rid of that illegal contraband before you show up at the scene. Dumb ninja. Well, Lord. Where your big cousins at? Ain't nobody showed you the ropes, child. Lord have mercy.
Sha'Carri and Christian's vehicles were towed, and they were both escorted to jail. Christian posted a $1,000 cash bond later that night, paying $500 for himself and $500 for Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri isn't lacking talent or drive.
Psychologically, though, it's possible she's still operating from the survival instincts her mind developed in childhood to protect her long before success ever arrived. The same coping mechanisms that once carried her through uncertainty can quietly wreak havoc on an adult nervous system when they go unchecked.
Sha'Carri is full of self-awareness,
but awareness without emotional regulation doesn't interrupt the hardwired patterns. Talent can only carry someone so far, and it can't shield someone from the accumulation of choices that distract from their performance.
Sha'Carri spent her early life craving security, consistency, and protection.
Yet now risks destabilizing the very platform she worked so hard to build. Success should have felt like a safe landing, but unresolved pain doesn't disappear when circumstances and financial stability improve. If anything, it demands attention when there's nothing left to outrun it. At some point, speed stops being the problem and control becomes the real issue. And she'll have to decide which path she wants her legacy to take. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.